I found her on Christmas morning. Not under the tree. In the attic. Sitting on an old mattress, wrapped in my grandmother's quilt, eating cereal from a bowl I had been looking for since October. She did not scream when she saw me. She just stopped chewing. And then she said, "He said you would be at your mother's until noon." That is how I learned that my husband of 11 years had been hiding his mistress in our own home for 6 months. While I slept downstairs. While I cooked his dinner. While I sat next to him on the couch watching movies he claimed to love. She was not some stranger he met at a bar. She was my sister's best friend. A woman I had invited to Thanksgiving dinner. A woman who had held my baby and complimented my curtains and smiled at me like we were friends. Let me start at the beginning. The day I first noticed something was wrong. It was July. Humid. The kind of heat that makes you want to sleep with all the windows open. I woke up at 2 in the morning. The bed was empty. My husband's side was cold. I walked downstairs. The kitchen light was on. He was standing by the back door looking up at the attic stairs. I said, "What are you doing?" He said, "I thought I heard something. Probably just an animal." I believed him. Why would I not believe him? He was my husband. The father of my daughter. A man who had never given me a reason to doubt. But the noises continued. Scratching. The step. The occasional creak of a floorboard that had no reason to creak. I asked him to check the attic. He said he would. He never did. Or maybe he did. Maybe he went up there every night to bring her food and water and the bowl I had been looking for since October. For 6 months, I lived with a ghost in my attic. And I did not know it. The signs were there. I just did not want to see them. Food went missing. Leftovers. Bread. A whole cheesecake I had made for my daughter's birthday. I blamed myself. Thought I was eating more than I remembered. Thought I was losing my mind. Laundry went missing too. Towels. One of my husband's old sweatshirts. I blamed the dry cleaner. I blamed the washing machine. I blamed anything except the truth. And the truth was sleeping 20 feet above my bedroom every single night. My husband started working late. Trips out of town. Weekends away. He said his job was demanding. I believed him. I was a good wife. Good wives believe their husbands. But good wives also notice when their husbands stop looking them in the eye. He stopped touching me around September. Not just sex. Hand-holding. Hugs. The casual brush of his hand against my back when he walked past. All of it stopped. I asked him if something was wrong. He said he was tired. He said work was stressful. He said I was imagining things. I started imagining things. I imagined he was having an affair. I imagined he was sick. I imagined he had stopped loving me. I never imagined she was in the attic. That was too ridiculous. Too cruel. Too absurd for real life. But real life is often more absurd than fiction. Christmas Eve he said he had to work late. He kissed my forehead. A dry, quick kiss. Like you would give an aunt you barely know. He said, "I will be home by midnight. Do not wait up." I did not wait up. But I could not sleep either. I lay in bed, staring at the ceiling, listening to the house settle. 2 in the morning I heard it. Footstep. Right above my head. Got up. I walked to the hallway. I pulled the cord for the attic stairs. They unfolded with a groan I had heard 100 times but never paid attention to. Climbed the stairs. The attic was dark. Cold. Smelled like dust and something else. Perfume. Not my perfume. I turned on my phone flashlight. And there she was. Sitting on a mattress. Wearing my husband's old sweatshirt. Eating cereal from my missing bowl. She did not run. She did not apologize. She just looked at me with tired eyes and said, "He said you would be at your mother's until noon." I said, "How long?" She said, 6 months. I said, "Did he love you?" She said, "He said he did. But he also said he would leave you. And he never did." I sat down on the floor. Right there. In the dust. I did not cry. I was too shocked to cry. I said, "Where does he tell you he is going when he comes up here?" She said, "He does not tell me anything. He just comes." And then he leaves. I asked her if she wanted to come downstairs. She said no. She said she was embarrassed. Shame. That she knew it was wrong but she had nowhere else to go. I learned her story that night. She had lost her job. Lost her apartment. Lost her sense of self. My husband had offered her a place to stay. Temporary place. Secret place. And she had said yes because she was desperate and lonely and he was kind to her when no one else was. I did not blame her. I blamed him. He had used her. The same way he had used me. For comfort. For convenience. For the ego boost of having two women who needed him. I told her to pack her things. She did. Small duffel bag. Everything she owned. I drove her to a hotel. I paid for 3 nights. I said, "You have 3 days to figure out your next move. After that, you are on your own." She cried. Thanked me. Apologized over and over. I said, "Do not apologize to me. Apologize to yourself for letting a man make you small." Then I went home. My husband was asleep in our bed. Snoring. Peaceful. Like he had not spent 6 months living a double life under my roof. I did not wake him. I went to the kitchen. I made coffee. I sat at the table. And I waited. He woke up at 8. He walked into the kitchen. He saw me sitting there. He smiled. He said, "Merry Christmas." I said, "I found her." His smile froze. His face went gray. He said, "Found who?" I said, "The woman in the attic. The one you have been hiding since July. The one eating my cereal from my missing bowl." He opened his mouth, closed it, opened it again. He said, "It is not what you think." I laughed. Not because it was funny. 'Cause it was exactly what I thought. And he knew it. I said, "I am not going to scream. I am not going to cry. I am not going to throw your things on the lawn. I am going to drink my coffee. And then I am going to call a lawyer. You have until noon to pack your bags." He begged. He pleaded. He said he was sorry. He said it meant nothing. He said she was nothing. I said, "She was nothing to you. But I was nothing to you too. And I am done being nothing." He left at 11:30. He did not take much. Suitcase. Box of photos. The good suit he wore to his mother's funeral. I watched him drive away. And then I walked upstairs. Climbed into the attic. I sat on the empty mattress. I looked at the dust and the cobwebs and the small indentation where her head had rested for 6 months. And I said out loud to no one, "I am going to be okay." Took time. Therapy. Long walks. Long talks with my daughter, who was too young to understand but old enough to know that Daddy had done something very wrong. I sold the house. Could not stay there. Every creak of the floorboards reminded me of her. I moved to a smaller place. Place with no attic. No hidden rooms. No secrets. And slowly, quietly I rebuilt. My ex-husband married her 6 months after the divorce. She was pregnant. He had been seeing her the whole time. The attic was just the beginning. They live in a small apartment now. I hear they are unhappy. I hear he works late. I hear she stays up at night, listening to the floorboards, wondering if history is repeating itself. I do not wish them harm. But I do not wish them well either. I wish them nothing. 'Cause they gave me nothing. And that is what they deserve. I am 48 now. Have a garden. Dog. A daughter who calls me every Sunday. Have peace. And that is the best revenge of all.